So this is going to be another television show review. This one's called Dick Tracy. Don't ask me how I fixed my camera. Even though I said that my screen was blurry, Adrian still said that my screen was blurry. Thanks for the reminder, mate. I know it was messed up, and I cut it off inadvertently by clicking on the X on the right, thinking that it was a different window that I had my recording on. So I'll go through my list again. And I will actually tell you what is coming down the pike on my Netflix next week. Since I cut it off, I couldn't tell you why I hated letter of introduction because I cut it off prematurely. That was my fault. Can't blame it on my internet connection this time. But it's supposed to be a comedy. I didn't find it funny at all. The Charlie McCarthy and the other dummy, I can't even think of his name. They were not funny at all. Ending was depressing. The movie was too long. I think it was an hour 41 minutes. Something like that. Or maybe that was the Dick Tracy. It was too long. I just hated it. Not my favorite genre. I couldn't get into it. All right. So Dick Tracy TV series ran for 2 seasons starring Ralph Byrd. It's got 48 episodes. I watched 4 of them, called The Mole, from 1951. Each episode is 30 minutes running time, but seemed like it was more than 25 minutes when I watched it on YouTube. I posted the link in the description. Ran on ABC, picture format, black and white, from September 11th, 1950 to April 7th, 1951. Dick Tracy is a U.S. TV series based on the Detective Comics strip Dick Tracy. The show aired on ABC from September 11th, 1950 to April 7th, 1951. It starred Ralph Byrd. An animated series, The Dick Tracy Show, which I have on my list. Another Adrian mention, aired in syndication in 1961. It was shot at Sam Goldwyn Studios in Los Angeles. Byrd died in August 1952. What else can I say about Dick Tracy? Let's see. Oh, here it is. Intrepid Detective Dick Tracy tangles with the bizarre rogues gallery of villains, including the Mole. But as always, our stoic officer of the law, virtuous to a fault, proves himself up to the task of putting the criminals behind bars. He didn't put the Mole behind bars. He just shot him to death. What are they talking about? All right. So part 1, season 1, episode 9. Tracy and Ketchum investigate the murder of a counterfeiter and trace the engraving plates to the lair of a hoodlum known as the Mole. Part 2, season 1, episode 10. While the Mole hires a crook to run his counterfeit operation, Dick Tracy draws his net around the gangster's operation. The Mole orders 2 of the Gunzels to capture and kill the detective. The Mole shows Wheels to his underground printing press to have him produce the counterfeit bills, but though being watched by Mountain, Wheels manages to switch the plates with 2 blanks before leaving in rage. Mole sends Mountain out to bring him and the plates back, but Tracy intervenes. Part 4, season 1, episode 12, The Payroll Robbery. With the law closing in, the mole gets desperate, and petty crook, the Joker, tries to burn out the mole's sensitive eyes so he can steal the plates, but he fails. Mole retaliates by disguising himself and making a try at killing Joker at his magic shop. Dick Tracy and the police force Mole out of his lair with some smoke bombs. This is way better than the serial, if you can imagine that. It's like watching an Ed Wood movie. ABC was one of the lesser-known TV networks at the time in 1951. So I guess they were playing this for the kids, but I love it. I love it. It's even better than the serial, and that's saying a lot. Because the serial is great too, but this is even better than the serial. Let's see. Dick Tracy series opens in the fall with New York actor as star. TV film rights on Dick Tracy go to WGN TV. Ralph Byrd, obituary in the New York Times, August 19th, 1952. All right. What did Ralph Byrd die from? Of course, he was in the serials and the television show, but I guess he died as Dick Tracy, literally. No, he made Bugles in the Afternoon. Oh, he made like 5 movies before he died. So Byrd continued to work in action fair in the late 40s, and when Dick Tracy property became a TV series in 1950, Byrd was the obvious choice to reprise his famous role. The shows were produced on low budget, with Byrd forced to cope with long hours and strenuous action scenes because they couldn't afford to hire a stuntman. The accelerated pace of TV production took its toll on the overworked actor's health, and he succumbed to a heart attack in Tarzana, California on August 18, 1952, and he's buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale. He was 43 years old. Live fast, die young. That's the title of a Circle Jerks song. All right, I'm going through my list now. I love Dick Tracy, the Mole, 4 parts of a 48-part episode television show. I couldn't find too many other episodes of this show on YouTube, but they were kind of scattered around, unfortunately. But I'll go through my list again because I added some more. Next up is Devil's Island, 1939, Angel Town, 1990, Mercenary, 1996, Night Fright, 1967, DEFCON 4, 1985, Santa Fe Trail, 1940, Renegade Girl, 1946, Passport for a Corpse, 1962, Black Dragons, 1942, Cyborg Cop 2, Drums of the Desert, 1940, Shock, 1946, It Lives by Night, Train to Tombstone, 1950, Deputy Marshal. 1949, Broadway Limited. 1941, The Strange Woman. 1946, The Fighter. 1952, Bamboo Gods and Iron Men. 1974, Zero Tolerance. Ulterior Motives. 1992, The Big Chance. 1933, I'll See You in Hell. 1960, Three Desperate Men. 1951, The Star Packer. 1934, The Devil's Hand. 1961, My Outlaw Brother. 1951, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Talons of the Eagle. Riders of the Whistling Pines. 1949, Portraits of Terror, The Final Curtain. Safe and Effective, A Second Opinion. 2022, Malibu Crush. 2022, Dead Tides. 1996, Easy Money. 1936, Swing High, Swing Low. 1937, An Eye for an Eye. The Real Anthony Fauci. 2022, Return to the Batcave, The Misadventures of Adam and Byrd. The Giant Gila Monster, Shadows on the Stairs. The Giant Gila Monster is 1959. Shadows on the Stairs, 1941. The Bigamist, 1953. The Unholy Four, 1954. Triple Cross, 1966. Hold Me While I'm Naked, 1966. Head, 1968. 1990, The Bronx Warriors, 1982. Exterminators of the Year 3000, 1983. Platoon Leader, Penny Serenade, 1941. Creature from the Haunted Sea, 1961. War of the Satellites, 1958. The Black Raven, 1943. He Walked by Night, 1948. They Were So Young, 1954. Whatever It Takes, 1998. One Dark Night, 1982. Cipher Bureau, 1938. Sinners in Paradise, 1938. What Price Crime, 1935. Maytime in Mayfair, 1949. He Walked by Night, 1948. The Strange Love of Martha Ivers, 1946. Tarzan the Fearless, 1933. Monstrosity, 1963. Diamond Trail, 1933. Sinful Cargo, 1936. Youth on Parole, 1937. I'll Name the Murderer, 1936. The Chase, 1946. Impact, 1949. A Stranger in Town, 1943. Half a Sinner, 1940. Captured in Chinatown, 1936. Rimfire, 1949. Tales of Robin Hood, 1951. The Magic Sword, 1962. Bandit Queen, 1950. Crooked River, 1950. Marshal of El Dorado, 1950. Colorado Ranger, 1950. Bandit Queen, 1950. Wild Weed, 1949. Strangers of the Evening, 1932. Renegade. Devil's Partner, 1961. Fist of Glory, 1991. Night of Horror, 1981. Jungle Ground, 1995. Scanners 2, The New Order, 1991. Scanners 3, The Takeover, 1992. Scanner Cop 2, 1995. Great Guns, 1941. Hardy Saps at Sea. Charlie Chan, Murder over New York. Best of the Best 4, Without Warning, 1998. Excessive Force, 1993. Don't Look in the Basement 2. The Mad Monster, 1942. King Kong Lives. Drum, 1976. Extreme Justice, 1993. Hillbillies in a Haunted House, 1967. Twin Dragons. Scream 2. Jimmy Trainor's Alien Parasite film. Forbidden World. The Shooter, 1997. That Cold Dead Look in Your Eyes, 2021. Undersea Kingdom, 1936. Rage of Honor, 1987. Bloodsuckers. The Royal Bed, 1931. Judge Priest, 1934. Regular Fellers, 1941. The Package. The Great Gabbo, 1929. Blind Husbands, 1919. Turkey Shoot, The Snow Creature, 1954. Love Laughs at Andy Hardy, 1946. Farewell to Arms. Balance of Power. Overkill, 1996. The Royal Bed, 1931. Easy Money, 1936. Prehistoric Women, 1950. Silent Night, Bloody Night, 1972. Fog Island, 1945. Emergency Squad, 1974. The Vampire Bat, 1933. Radioactive Dreams, 1985. Black Sheep, 2006. Spontaneous Combustion, 1990. The Dick Tracy Show, 1961. Midnight Phantom, 1935. The Gorilla, 1939. Exiled to Shanghai, 1937. Mystery Plane, 1939. Remedy for Riches, 1940. Soul Man, 1986. Big Town After Dark, 1947. One Body Too Many, 1944. Woman on the Run, 1950. Not Wanted, 1949. Port of New York, 1949. Make a Wish, 1937. And I think I've already seen Jungle Bride, 1933. Let me check. That might be the last one. Jungle Bride. All right, I'm going to pull up my Netflix queue. That list is out of control, man. Just ask Professor Quiz about my list. It's out of control. Okay, I'm pulling up my Netflix queue. I'm pulling up my channel to see if I review Jungle Bride. Because I think I already had it on my favorites list at some point in time. Well, I had the day off today. I'm in graveyard tonight. So I'm going to get about 12 hours of sleep. Go to work, then sleep another 12 hours. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much sleep I get on Thursday. But then I got to do 3 overnights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I have my son Sunday morning. And I'm sure he'll want to go to Latin Mass. All right. So this is what I got coming down the pike for next week. Kronos, 1993. It won't even let me hover over so I can see what. I think this is a. Guillermo del Toro, early Guillermo del Toro with Ron Perlman in The Crush. This looks good. Alicia Silverstone. I like the movie poster for this one. Alicia Silverstone and Kurtwood Smith. Then I've got Cry Wilderness. This does not look good, this Cry Wilderness. Sasquatch, A PG Sasquatch movie, really? All right. Jungle Bride. I have not seen. So Jungle Bride is the last one on my list. All right, that's the end of my review. Highly recommended. Check out this television show if you can find it. For Adrian, maybe he can find it on Tubi. He found Crimson Ghost on Tubi. To be or not to be? That is the question. Laters.